I guess what kind of everyone expected was Donald Trump to be featured in a new terrorist recruitment video. Can you believe that? Already, he's in one.
I think Hillary Clinton sort of predicted it, because I think, like, the first time she said it, she clearly was wrong.
Yeah.
But then as soon as she said it, I think the terrorists were like,
that's a great idea.
They came out of the sand. They were like, that is a good idea.
Yeah.
We should get some Donald Trump stuff and put him in an ad.
The entire time, Trump has been segregating everyone that isn't a white person from everyone else. And that's just a way to push someone over the edge and join a group that seems like a better option.
Well, no, I think that's exactly right, Tamara. And I talked about this. I recently wrote a piece on ebony.com where I talked about that exact thing, right? People think that if we go over there and we bomb Syria to smithereens and we blow up ISIS, that we're going to stop people from joining ISIS. And that's just not true, because all the data tells us, number one, that the people are radicalizing on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, they're on the internet. Like, are you going to blow up the internet? If you're not going to blow up the internet, you will not stop ISIS. And ISIS only exists in a world where George W. Bush decides he can just conveniently invade countries because it's a good ideal, and then walk away.
Well, if an anonymous hasn't bombed the internet yet, I don't think it's possible.
Nobody can blow up the internet, right? And I think Donald Trump's rhetoric around Muslims is ridiculous. And I think it fuels some of the things you see. It fuels like what we saw in Oregon, right? With these Oregon militants just invading America.
Yeah. And
I want my country back.
Seriously. And what's the way to take it over is take control with guns, take control of violence, take control of things that you're criticizing everyone else for doing.
And kick Muslims off planes, because
Yes,
that's the bright thing to do.
It's so frustrating, though.
No, I mean, it is. And I mean, let's be real about this, though, for a second. If you think about it, like, taking out the Donald Trump piece of this, there is a space for moderate Muslims to stand up and be like, okay, ISIS, y'all are wildin'.
Yeah.
And I just feel as though we haven't, because of America's sort of hegemonic role that we play, it hasn't created an opportunity. We haven't created any, like, fertile ground for moderate Muslims and moderate Muslim countries say, okay, we have a serious problem with ISIS, and there's such a gap here that we've got to fill it, right? And, like, from a foreign policy perspective, right? Like, so America can bomb and France can bomb until the Lord comes. But until Muslims self-police Muslims, we're going to be back where we started.
Yeah, but at the same time, we can't segregate against an entire group of people or generalize people as a whole. And that's exactly what you're saying, too. You need to separate yourself from them, but you can't do that at the same time when someone's generalizing an entire religion or race as a whole.
I think that's right. I think, you can't, like, say we hate all, like, 'cause all Muslims aren't terrorists. Just like, and I'm one of those people, like, and I've gotten fight, like, I got in a huge fight because I think the guy who shot the Planned Parenthood clinic in Colorado Springs, he's a terrorist.
Yeah.
And he won't be called a terrorist because he's a Christian. So because you're Christians, you're not terrorists. But if you're Muslims, you're a terrorist.
But I think there's an even more interesting way to take that term. If it's someone from out of America, an un-American person, then you can consider they're a terrorist. But can you consider any shooter a terrorist?
Well, I think you should. I think Dylan Roof is a terrorist.
Yeah, they're creating terror within our country.
Right, and I mean, the definition of terrorism is pretty clear. It's this idea that using violence and intimidation to push forward a political agenda. Al-Qaeda has a political agenda. ISIS has a political agenda. And I would argue the KKK has a political agenda, as well as Dylan Roof. And not all the pro-life people are terrorists. I'm talking about the far, 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 far right who think it's okay to blow up abortion clinics. Yeah,
and are taking violent manners to criticize other people's decisions.
Exactly. Absolutely. But it is funny. I mean, this is a funny picture of Donald Trump. But it is very, I just think this whole Trump craze is a bit crazy.
I know, we can't stop talking about him, but it hurts my heart every time we do talk about him.
No, and I think that's exactly right. Like, and you think about it, I think recently, he went on this whole thing that he's going to unsign all the president's executive orders around guns. And I just think to myself, I'm like, really, Donald Trump, is that what you're really going to do? Like, what will the Trump presidency look like?
I don't even have an answer to that question. I wish I did.
I know it's going to be gold-plated.
Yeah.
Definitely
that would be pretty beautiful,
It's definitely going to be a gold-plated presidency. So just get ready for the White House to be plated in gold.
Oh, what else? I guess nice furs. I'm sure he isn't an environment freak. Like,
no.
What can we
say?
About
and we're going to have an immigrant in the White House as the first lady.
Oh, definitely.
Because Melania is, she's an immigrant.
She said.
No, she's an immigrant. She might be. She's an immigrant. America. So like, and that's the other part of like this whole Trump thing. Like, so you marry an immigrant model, but somebody who marries a Muslim, and your model is allowed to come freely through the country. But if I'm a Muslim or I'm an American and I'm a Christian and I marry a Muslim, they can't come into the country because if you were president, you'd ban them from coming into the country.
Yeah, it's not even that. Who do you think are working in Trump's hotels?
Thank you. Latinos and Muslims
They're
and
not
blacks.
the people at his rallies.
No. America, that is so true. They aren't the people at his rallies.
No.
I think the people at his rallies are just strange to me. They're like,
they're a different breed
they're
of
really,
human.
no, they're like salt of the earth, Americans. Like, I mean, I think he's really, I mean, give credit where credit is due, right? Like, he's been able to get angry white men who feel as though everybody has done them in.
Yeah, and women, which doesn't make any sense to me because they're fighting against every right of their own.
But he loves women. He's gonna, and I just think, I love his general, like his platitudes, right? He's like, oh yeah, for blacks, the blacks love me. I'm gonna be great for the blacks. The women love me. Latinos, they love me. That's gonna be huge. I'm gonna build the wall. Did you see the commercial?
What commercial?
The Donald Trump ad?
No, I didn't see the ad.
The ad is hilarious. You've got to watch the ad where he's like, I'm Donald Trump and I approve this message. And he's like, basically like, Obama's awful. I'm going to build a wall and I'm going to ban all Muslims. That's the ad.
Really?
Bible.
He says that?
Yeah.
How can you, that's another thing. Like, where's the line about being able to say whatever you want on air and not being able to say, yeah, but the FBI is there to kind of stop or hinder the ability of people to
commit hate crimes?
Yeah. And guess what he's doing everywhere?
Committing a hate crime, America. Donald Trump is committing a hate crime. You heard it here first in the Fowler Show. Right back after this break. Don't go anywhere.